Currently bouncing out at 24 bits, 48k, and this is the optimum bounce out rates that we need. And then I'm transferring it to hardware gear with, using the console, the Audience 4816 console at DBS, where I can make use of hardware dynamic effects like compression and EQ, also modulation effects like phasing, flanging, and chorus tremolo as well. Maybe pitch shifting, and time-based effects, reverb and delay, all using hardware outboard gear, analog, because the only hardware analog gear I've got here is this preamp / interface, the Moto M4. So this is going to be transferred to the mixing console at DBS, and then finally leaving enough headroom for mastering, I will get onto the mastering stage. I would also bounce out a 16-bit 44.1 version in case I need this for CD, but all that is done at the mastering stage, to be honest. That's when it needs to be done. But yeah, just bouncing out here the stems. These are the stems ready to go into the hybrid system at DBS. As you can see, there's no clipping as I'm bouncing out, which obviously makes it very good for the mastering engineer, as I'm clearly leaving headroom, so the master has the space to pump up the volume in the mastering stage, which is a big part of that stage, the mastering stage. Pumping up volume and making sure it fits all the different formats that is going to be distributed to, and a little bit of EQ and compression here and there. And yeah, I've left it left the mix very dry, so I can add some more stuff on the mixing desk, analog mixing desk. Obviously I need to transfer this from a digital DAW format to an analog desk, and once I do that, then once I add the effects on the analog console, then using hardware, then I can get it to the mastering stage. I have also used a time-based effects unit, digital effects unit, and that is the Alesis MIDI Verb, set on in a cloud concert hall, with those parameters there, and that is being used on the stems that I recorded with my Tascam Porta Studio X8, held up to my Roland Jazz Chorus the JC40. So it's these three here. So coming out of 9 and 10. Coming out of 9 and 10. These are the Tascam guitars. So 9 and 10 is routed to the Elisa's MIDI verb, and it's just adding even more space, creating an even larger room, concert hall size room, to what I've already got shimmer from the Hall of Fame, TC Electronic Hall of Fame on shimmer mode, but this is adding even more well, reverb really, and just making it even more ethereal. So I've raised these frequencies, the low mids, boosted them, and I want to hear it in the context with the guitars. That's happening at the moment, so I just need to keep these open. Yeah, I think that sounds very good. I think the bass cuts through, even with those guitars, and then with the drums as well. It's still present. It's still got presence about it, even with those harsh drums. So I'm sending my drum track. I'm sending those drums using the radio reamp box, and that's feeding the bass, the Boss Space Echo, which is being routed to the channel 16 line inputs, and but we're using an LA4 gate, using the gate unit, because to tame the noise of the Space Echo, to sort of tame the reverb of it, and create those chops in between the transients that we want. And yeah, we're just using the drums. I'm using the drums on it at the moment. I might use further things later. Oh yeah, and the tape, I mean the gate unit is going to the auxiliary 3, which you can see there is turned up on the drums, so I've made use of it. So I'm using this SSL stock compressor across the full mix, and we're making sure that the levels are not going above this bit of tape, which is I'm using that as an indicator of the limiter, so making sure it doesn't go above -6. So is that -6? I'm using a combination of that and also using gain reduction on individual tracks, so making sure it doesn't go over -18. You want it going over 18 there. So I've done this across numerous see. You see here, look, direct guitar. So that's nice. Gain reduction there. So yes, we've got the ratio at 2:1, so not anything super aggressive. It's not going to be, you know, doubling it up too much for every decibel. For every decibel over the threshold, it's only gonna be double the amount of compression. It's not going to be anything more than that. Attack 3 milliseconds. So yeah, quite a fast attack, and release we've got 1.2 milliseconds. I know, just seconds. I mean, release 1.2 seconds. Obviously, we're going to keep the makeup gain down because we don't want to obviously go over the -6 decibels. And yeah, the threshold is quite lenient, really. We're allowing a lot through, and then anything that goes over is controlled here by the ratio, and obviously that's clamped down at 2:1. So yeah, well that's in. Okay, so my bass guitar is coming through channels 3 and 4, and it's being routed via bantam jacks, the patch bay, to the Clark Technic 1176 clone, which is field effects transistor compressor, and the knobs are, to make it faster, more aggressive, is actually clockwise rather than anti-clockwise, which other compressors normally have it that way around. But this is like clockwise to make the attenuation stronger. So we've got quite fast attack, quite fast release. You can see by the VU meter that it's being controlled by this insert 3. Put it in the middle, leave it in the middle. And to give the bass presence in the context of the full mix, especially when the drums are simultaneously playing with it, like right now, I've given it a real low mids frequency boost. Just give it some presence. And quite a wider Q factor as well, so it's covering quite a larger bandwidth. So yeah, and then the phase is quite level in the middle.
to